Hi, so the purpose of this video is to help make sure you understand the proper way to warm up and cool down before and after a workout. So we want to make sure that we are doing what's known as dynamic movements or dynamic stretching or dynamic warm up, whatever it is, but the key term is dynamic, before a workout. And basically this is just moving stretches and getting the body warmed up. And we want to do this before a workout because the point is to get the body warmed up and ready to do the workout. So we want full range of motion to do this. And then a cool down is when we do what we call our static stretches. So that's whenever we hold a stretch for, 30 seconds or however long to help increase our flexibility and stretch out the muscles at the end of a workout while the muscles are warm. I'm not going to go into the science of why we do this. It's just very important to understand that you want to warm up with movement-based exercises that are gentle and a good way to warm up and get that full range of motion going. And then at the end is whenever you do your cool down and you stand still and you stretch and target isolated muscles during a stretch at the end, not at the beginning. So I'm going to show you an example of some dynamic movements that you can use for a warm up to get you a good idea on what you should do. So one way to start is arm circles. So what you want to do is really tighten the core, strengthen the legs. You can put a subtle bend in your knees and really swing the arms around. And this way you're getting that nice momentum going in the shoulders. Another thing you can do is swing side to side, okay? And you can allow your arms to swing from side to side. So you're allowing your shoulders to get some more range of motion going this direction. And you're also getting the core warmed up by moving side to side. So this is another option to get the core warmed up. Another way to warm up is by doing jumping jacks, or you could do step jacks to get started, or especially if jumping is not an option, then this is a good way to warm up. Or you can go right into jumping jacks. Stepping in place is an option, inhaling the arms up, exhaling to come down. Some squats to get started as well is a good way. Getting the knees going, keeping all the weight in the heels. Okay, doing some side to side squats and maybe adding some reaches, getting some more range of motion going on in the body. And then you can go right ahead and have fun with it. You can do some side steps, stepping behind, right? Doing something like that and moving the arms around while you do it, right? You can do some arm swings like this, where you're really stretching out the shoulders as you reach, and you're getting full range of motion going from head to toe. All the things to get the body going. Bringing the knees up. You can bring the arms up at the same time or push them forward. You can do kicks and reach for your toes. Side kicks are also an option to get started. But basically the idea is to get the whole body moving. And then you can even do some bends at the hips as well once you get warmed up, and some walks in place. But basically the idea is you want to do something like that for say 3 to 5 minutes. So a good way to get a good dynamic warm-up going is maybe play some really fun music. One of my favorite things is like the Mortal Kombat theme song or something that has a lot of energy to it, some good rhythm and some pump to it, just to get you motivated and going. And you want a good 3 to 5 minutes to warm up, doing movements like that, doing simple movements. If you're a little bit more experienced or you have it in you, then you can add in jumping jacks, things that are a little bit more high intensity, but keep it low intensity. You don't have to jump for a warm up. And then at the end of a workout, that's whenever you do, say something like this, where you're holding a stretch for a long period of time, something like this even. If you add a side stretch, and then anything with the legs. So if you're reaching for a foot and you're stretching at the leg, that's a static stretch where you're holding it still for 30 or more seconds to get a stretch in that area. And then whenever you do those, you want to make sure that either you're stretching out the whole body, if you work the whole body, or you're really targeting the muscles. So if you worked the legs, you want to make sure that you get yourself a good quad stretch. Okay, so you do that on both sides. for maybe 30 seconds or so. Get a good stretch in the front of the leg here, so do like a lunge, but pivot your hip forward, and this will stretch the front of your hip flexors really good. Then you can press the heel back, and that way you're stretching the back of your leg really good. Okay? You can bend forward and just allow yourself to hang forward and get a good stretch in the back of the legs really good, and all the way up the back as well. You can stretch out the hip. You can do this on the floor or standing, whichever works for you. If you need to hold on to something for balance, that sort of thing. Bringing the arms behind you for shoulder stretching and your chest as well. So those are the sort of things that you want to do whenever you're doing your stretch at the end of a workout. But you want that dynamic movement at the beginning of a workout, just the way I showed you, to get yourself warmed up and moving in all ranges of motion. So something like walking on a treadmill is one way to start for maybe a couple of minutes, but you still want to add in that extra amounts of movements to really get the blood flowing, really get the heart pumping, and preparing the body for all ranges of motion. Because if you're doing something like shoulder presses, right, if you're going to be doing an upper body workout and you're warming up by walking on the treadmill, you're not really getting this area ready for that workout, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. So hopefully this helps you out with preparing for a workout and afterwards. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out, or you can go right ahead and do a little extra research of your own based off of those topics. There's lots of information out there. So bye for now, and we'll reach out again soon.